Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to work on the letter M, and I was able to come up with a ton of M ideas. So we're going to actually start off with some TCW modeling paste and some reindeer moss. Now, I think I bought this at Michael's, but I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I purchased it. It's been hanging around. So we're gonna start off there and see where that takes us. Now, I've said this before, you shouldn't use modeling paste as an adhesive, but yet here I am using it as an adhesive. And my thinking on it this time was that I was using it so thick and really pressing this in, and I knew I would be going over the top with something acrylic. So I went ahead and used it as an adhesive. This was really interesting to get in. I don't think it's real moss. I think it's faux moss, which is probably a good thing because you don't want anything really molding or rotting in your pages. But it was really interesting stuff to work with. It's kind of fun. It just has a mind of its own, really. Just a tidbit of information, this stencil, the Cathedral Arch, was designed by Tina Walker. I love this stencil. You can pull it apart, and not literally, but you can use different parts of it and get so many different kinds of effects out of it. I really love this stencil. It's one of my favorites. All right, in the top there you see a blue roll of mesh. That is mesh that you can purchase. You can get it in lots of different colors. I'm not sure who manufactures that mesh. What I'm using is, it's always white. Well, I've only ever seen it in white. And it comes in a huge roll, and it's called drywall mesh. And you can get it at your local hardware store, and it's not very expensive in comparison to the colored mesh that you can buy, I believe, in art supply or scrapbooking locations. If you do a cost comparison per foot, it's less expensive to get your drywall tape. And this is drywall mesh, also known as drywall tape. There is another kind of drywall tape that's paper, but this stuff is awesome. It has an adhesive back to it, but I don't usually trust that adhesive, and I generally always use some kind of adhesive with it. However, once again, here I'm breaking my own rules, and I have embedded it into modeling paste. So here I'm talking about, I had to make a decision because this is faux moss. I didn't want to dry it with my heating tool because I was afraid it would melt or let off some kind of toxic fumes. So I used my arting hairdryer, and I used that to dry the gesso that I had put on that moss. Now you'll see here I'm applying gesso now. This is watercolor paper by Blick that I got, and if you only put that gesso in certain areas, it creates this awesome technique that I just absolutely adore, which I will point out later. So these are some burnt matches that I saved to use someday, and today was the day. So I'm covering them in gesso, getting them prepared to become part of the letter M's page, which, by the way, we are officially at the halfway mark of this project.
If you want to open your door, I'm feeling kind of lost when your mind is hiding whatever that is choking you.
All right, what I'm showing you here is that I created these molded pieces and from this Prima Mold using Paperclay, and I store them in an empty egg carton. Why I needed to show you that, I don't know. But you can buy pre-molded pieces too. But I like to make my own. And I think it's fun and relaxing. I don't make a lot of them, but when I get into it, I make a lot of them at a time. So I made those pieces. And now I am going to lay down some color. And I love the Lindy's. It is not light fast. Lindy's is not light fast, and it is water soluble. So if you go and apply additional things to it, it's going to move. But there are steps you can take to overcome that. But now you're going to see the absolutely wonderful technique of watercolor paper and sloppily applied gesso, which I think is just fantastic. And generally I use an art spray, but you see how you get a variation in color along the edges where I did not get the gesso all the way to the edges. I just absolutely adore that tonality change when you do that technique. I call it a technique, but I don't know if it really is. Let's make it a technique. It's official. Today, sloppy gesso on watercolor paper is a technique. And it's awesome. Watch it again here. If I can ever get the lace from the letter L to calm down there. And then I move it. Oh. See how it pools in certain areas and soaks into that watercolor paper. Yeah, fantastic. Now just wait, I'm gonna sop up some of that because the gesso makes it harder for it to absorb into the paper in areas. So then you can come back in with a paper towel, kitchen roll, towel, whatever, and you can get that lighter effect, like in a cathedral where it's lighter. And like in the center there, it's kind of an ethereal feeling. But I got to accentuate that, and I go in with the Pearlescence Lindy's spray, which just adds really a sheen. It's kind of a clearish white, and it's got a lot of sparkle to it. So I wanted to emphasize that lighter colored area by using the Pearlescence. That's what you want, then baby try to believe me when I
say that you can tell me anything.
As always, I list all the products that I've used down below in the description box. But I don't know if you've ever really gone and looked at my description box, but I have a lot of details down there. You can find all the links to everyone else that participated in this project. You can find Tina Walker's link, StencilGirl Products links. You can find the free A to Z exploration and textures list PDF, the free downloadable PDF link. Of course, all the products. And the products that I've listed, the links are sometimes to my Etsy store or possibly an affiliate link, but I only link to products that I have used, I have tested, or I prefer to use. I do receive a very small compensation for any of the links that are actually affiliate links, but there is never any additional cost to you. Right, what you're seeing here are some metal pieces, like this is a lid off of a wine bottle, and but you didn't see me apply the gesso to these pieces, but I did put some white gesso on those, so I'm just getting those painted with that Payne's gray, and then cutting down this old mailer that for some reason had been GBC bound at one time. I don't know. It came to me, these are really old, and it came to me from, I think it was part of some Happy Mail that I had received.
In your eyes that you're shaking 'cause you're holding it back. Maybe you'll make up your mind now I'm here by your side. So let it all out of me. Let it all out of me. Oh, I will hold you in the dark, make you forget about what's wrong. Let it all out of me. Let it all out of me. You won't get closer to me. If you want, open your door. If that's what you want, then baby try to believe me when I say that you can tell me anything. I can see it in your eyes that you're shaking 'cause you're holding it back.
If you haven't already subscribed and you're really enjoying this series and want to be notified of the videos as they come out, please take a moment and click on the subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. Actually, it's just my logo, but if you click on it here, you will not be taken out of the video and automatically subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Let it all out of me. I can see it in your eyes that you're shaking 'cause you're holding it back. Maybe you'll make up your mind now I'm here by your side. Let it all out of me. Let it all out of me. Oh, I will hold you in the dark, make you forget about what's wrong. Let it all out of me. I won't get close to your heartache. If you want, open your door. I'm feeling kinda lost when your mind is hiding whatever that is choking your chest. I can see it in your eyes that you're shaking 'cause you're holding it back. Maybe you'll make up your mind now I'm here by your side. that's what you want, then baby try to believe me when I say that you can tell me anything. I can see it in your eyes that you're shaking, 'cause you're holding it back. Maybe you'll make up your mind, now I'm here by your side. So let it all out of me. Let it all out of me. Oh, I will hold you in the dark, make you forget about what's wrong. Let it all out of me.
Yeah, don't stress out. I'm not going to leave those molded pieces there for long. I kind of got stressed out when I was watching it again. Was worried I was going to leave them there.
Oh, make up your mind, now I'm here by your side. I'm here. Let it all out of me. Let it all out of me. Oh, I will hold you in the dark, make you forget about what's wrong. Let it all out of me.
All right, this is a piece of watercolor paper. And I'm just going to tell you right now, I am not putting any gesso on it. Once I get it, I'll cut down to size. And there comes the molded piece. Had a new idea, much better idea. Don't want to mess up that cathedral arch scene. So watch as you add these sprays to a piece of watercolor paper that has not been gessoed. It soaks right in. And see how I left it there in that where it had landed, and how it's not really moving anymore? That's because it had soaked into that watercolor paper, and the brunt of the pigment is right there, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Now I did spray it initially with the pearlescence and then went in with the color because I knew it was going to really saturate that paper, and I really didn't want it all over. And it again has that real ethereal look to it, just like the rest of the layout. I'm so glad I moved those molded pieces. So now in typical fashion, lid is out with gesso in it. I am going in, and initially I'm not dry brushing. I'm just accentuating that lighter space, the change in light in the center of that cathedral arch. And then now you'll see I'm actually going to go in and do some dry brushing with my finger all over the piece.
Hold you in the dark, make you forget about what's wrong. Let it all out of me. I can see it in your eyes that you're shaking, 'cause you're holding it back. Maybe you'll make up your mind, now I'm here by your side. I'm here. Let it all out of me. Let it all out of me. Oh, I will hold you in the dark, make you forget about what's wrong. Let it all out of me. I won't get close to